Hey, it's Mark, and this video is all about how you can use one strategy to bring in accounting and bookkeeping clients without paid advertising and having it run on autopilot while you sleep. And that one strategy is content marketing and SEO. Now, before you say, hey Mark, I've tried that, it doesn't work, it takes too long. Believe me, I've heard that before, and you're right, it does take a long time usually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show 3 secrets that I've personally used to get leads at my businesses without spending a dime. This video is not about spending weeks or even months on developing a content strategy or wasting money on a SEO guru. So I'm gonna pull back the curtain today and reveal my best performing content and SEO strategy using 3 methods that are responsible for the majority of organic traffic going to my website. Okay, now if you've never heard of me, let me just take a moment to introduce myself. I'm the co-founder of both BizPayo and BookGel, but that's not important. Since we've launched BizPayo, it's now responsible for helping bookkeepers, accountants, and tax pros bring in over $100 million from clients. But that's not important either. You may have seen some of my interviews in the Boston Herald, MarketWatch, Yahoo Finance, or a dozen other publications, but that's not important either. What's important is how the heck are we getting all these visitors to our websites, capturing all these leads without spending a dime? And this is what I'm going to show you today. Okay, one more thing before I show you my best strategies for bringing in accounting leads. So this is actually part of a series I'm doing for preparation for a new course that I'll be releasing called the Ultimate Digital Marketing Strategy for Accountants. And I want you to be a part of this journey with me. It's why I'll be directly answering questions that you leave in the comments below. So let me ask you this. What is the biggest challenge keeping you from bringing in quality leads and clients to your practice? Maybe no time, no experience writing content, no motivation. Drop it in the comments below and I'll be sure to reply. Okay, enough of the chit chat. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay, so what I'm about to show you, the accountant, can totally do yourself. Now, if you have a marketing person or agency, feel free to forward this video, but my goal here is to empower you to take the reins without spending any money, without spending, without sacrificing client time or committing to any, crazy content calendar that you're just gonna, give up faster than a New Year's resolution. Heck, I want you to focus on your clients. You're busy enough as is. So in this video, you're gonna learn content marketing and SEO. In 2022, SEO and content marketing is the single most effective tool in generating organic leads for your website and for your business. So SEO consists of using targeted keywords or keyword phrases to communicate what content is on your site and the relevance to what online users are looking for. It also consists of using other sites' backlinks and articles to obtain high authority and relevant links to your website. So here are the 3 strategies in reverse order, starting with the least effort with good impact, number 3, to the most effort with incredible impact, number 1. Okay, here we go, beginning at the bottom with number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and flip to screen share mode here so you can see step by step on how I do it. Okay, number 3, the expert roundup method. Now, an expert roundup article is content that you publish on your website or blog that includes advice from experts in your field. So it positions you as the expert by association and gives you instant authority in that topic that you cover. Let's use an example. So as an accountant, you are looking for clients and they're Googling you, of course. So they're gonna Google something like, questions to ask an accountant. So how to hire an accountant, questions to ask an accountant before hiring. So let me just give you a real example of what you can do here using the expert roundup method. So let's just pop that question into Google. So questions to ask an accountant before hiring. And as you can see, there's almost 10 million results. So lots of information out there. So what you want to do is you want to try to get on the first page of Google. Now, just an example here, articles from Entrepreneur. So the third one down here is one from bizpayo.com. It says the 10 most important questions to ask before hiring an accountant according to the experts. So this is the article that I actually created. And let me just break down this strategy, because you can actually use the exact same thing. Heck, you can ask the same question, but I would recommend using a question that you can get responses for. So what do I mean by that? So the way that this article is structured is, I literally ask accountants, what is the most important question a business should ask before hiring an accounting firm? I reached out to accountants on LinkedIn, over 50, and I think I got about maybe 30 or so responses back answering the question. Now, the questions that came in were, the number one question that they recommended was, what is your experience with my particular industry practice, which is an excellent question, right? Number two question, what is your niche or specialty? So what I did was, some accountants basically had that same question, so I just grouped them under here. So this one was from Brian George, this one was from Joe Emmanuel. Going down here, what is your niche or specialty? This one is from Roger McLeod. I liked his quote so much, I actually included this here. Would you go to your brain surgeon for heart surgery? Now, everything you actually see in this page here, pay attention to, because it's all a part of having this rank really high. So even things like this quote, for example, where I have an image and a quote, Google loves images and it picks up on it. Something called metadata, which I'll talk about in a moment. So I use this using a free tool called Canva. So you don't need to hire a graphics designer. You can go to canva.com. It's actually free. It's a really cool service that you can create images for. So let's just kind of look at this really quick. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on here. You can see as you scroll down here, I'm doing things like capturing email, right? I'm capturing things up here. At the bottom, I'm capturing email address. I'm going to show one of the next courses is going to be capturing email leads for your accounting firm, and I'll deep dive into these tactics, but it's all a part of what I'm showing. I'm just going to cancel out on this. So this is the idea here with this article, and so you're going to collect these responses, put them in a Word or Google Doc, and start to draft your article. Now, once you publish it, your job doesn't end there. What you're going to do is you are going to reach back out to folks. So, for example, Brian George of Callis Group, and say, "Hey, George, hey, Brian, I published this article. I included your quote in there. Love for you to share it with the audience." And what they're going to do is they can backlink it, so they can basically include that link to your article. They can share it on social media. Google picks up on that and it becomes a lot higher in the ranking. So this is the idea behind the expert Roundup method, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to include this link in the notes just so you have it and you can review it. Now, ironically, I also published a video on the opposite, how accounting firms, how accountants get fired. Hopefully you don't do anything that I mentioned there, but you can click on this little pop-up I'm going to include here if you want to see a YouTube video that I did on that. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more, because like I said, I don't want you to publish, hundreds of articles or dozens. As I mentioned, we only have a couple major articles that brings the majority of traffic to the site. So you want to be mindful of how this is constructed, and you have to pay attention to what the Google algorithm really wants. So I'm going to show you something called meta tags, and you want to make sure that Google knows exactly what your article is about. Now, one great resource that you can go to here is a website called metatags.io. Okay, so here's the thing about meta tags. Basically, if I were to paste in this article here, what it does is it shows me a preview of how things are going to look across Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, a couple others as well. So you want to make sure it looks great, right? It has a great image, it has a title, it has a description, and it breaks it down what it looks like on Google, right? Preview, what it looks like on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn here as well. So this is the idea of what you actually want to to do and have it look like. The other thing that you want to do is you want to check it up in something called SEO site checkup. Just type that in there, SEO site checkup. Now, if I go ahead and paste in that article, it's going to do a quick little SEO analysis. And now they have a paid service and a free trial. You don't even need to sign up for any of that. You can just totally use the free one, and it gives you a free diagnosis. A little trick is it'll keep it to one article, but if you open up in your incognito window here, then you'll be able to do as many as you want. So in this one, it shows a score of 85 out of 100, and you want to have at least 80 or higher. A lot of this other stuff really doesn't matter. The Google algorithm is smart enough to handle a lot of things these days. The key things you need to pay attention to is the title, the description, how it looks in the preview, and then the actual meta tag here. Now, without being too technical, this meta is the most important thing here. So this is the stuff that you're going to type in here, right? So the title and the description. Now, the cool thing about meta tags.io is you can literally type in what you want for it, and it'll create the meta tags for you. You can upload it to your blog. You can give it to your webmaster, your marketing person, just by clicking on generate the meta tags, and it automatically creates that for you. You click on copy, and you just basically paste it all in, and it creates all this background information that Google needs to know to make it render really looking great in Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Okay, so let's go back to our SEO site checkup. Okay, so this is, as I mentioned, so this is what it looks here. Now I want to show you one other I'm going to include a couple other tools here. You've probably heard of Google Analytics, something called Google Search Console. They're important, but don't get paralysis through analysis. We're not going to go deep into that because you'll use that later on. But for now, you should basically be focusing on this. Okay, so method number 2, I'm going to go ahead and close these out really quick. Let's go back to our home here. Number 2 is called the Expert Roundup plus Ultimate Guide method. So this is really cool. This is number 2. Number 1 is after this, and it's going to also pretty amazing. But number 2 works like a charm. So let's use this. So one example is CPA niche ideas, right? Now, if I were to search for that, CPA niche ideas. So basically, the idea is that I'm looking for an accountant in my businesses. Accountants are my clients, so I'm trying to attract various accountants to my sites. So CPA niche ideas is something that ranks pretty high. So you can see here, well, there's an ad, something from FreshBooks, something from entrepreneurial accountants, and then this next one is BizPayo. So this is one that I created here, and so I'll go ahead and click on it. And now here's the thing. This is called the CPA's Ultimate Guide to the Best Accounting Niches by Industry. So it takes 2 tactics. One is the expert roundup approach, right? So basically, I'm rounding up a lot of different accountants in various niches, right? So niche accountants for dental practices, cannabis accountants, real estate accountants. So lots of different niches here. And what I did was essentially I did a bit of research on the different niches. I looked at the sites. So this one was pretty high ranked, which is pretty awesome here. Niche accountants for dental practices. Basically broke down what we loved about the site, and then icing on the cake, what we really loved here, right? And then same thing, other dentists that kind of came in second and third. Same thing for cannabis. What we loved, what's pretty much icing on the cake here. Niche accountants for real estate, so on and so forth. So this works well because what I do here is I go ahead and publish the article, and then I reach back out to these these businesses, these accountants here, and then I say, hey, this is the article that we published, and we'd love to have you share this as well. So they would backlink to the site that feeds the Google juice, and then that enables this to rank higher as well because of the backlinks, and they share it on social media. I share it as well. So it's sort of like this evergreen thing going on here. Okay, so now, and it's coupled with the ultimate guide. So this is not just the roundup, but it's more of a guide as well. So if an accountant is trying to understand, okay, well, what niche should I get into, this kind of shows what other accountants are doing and how they approach it. So with this combined, it works really well. And again, you want to make sure that your metadata is there. So if we go to our let's see, meta tags .io, and let's take a look at this here, and let's just paste in this article, and let's just make sure that looks good. So again, make sure that your title, all of this information is included there, for and again, it's super simple because you just can see it listed here, and it helps guide you on where to enter it, title and description. So let's take a step back, because you saw, so these are basically the first two here, right? And this is the expert roundup and the ultimate guide method. So what I'd like to do is as I mentioned, these two tactics are two that we use, and it's used very well. You can use the same thing here. Now, I'm going to show you a bad example. So let's just say I'm looking for something, let's open up a new browser tab, and okay, I'm going to Google, let's just say accounting and bookkeeping accountant Miami. I'm just going to choose a city, and let's just go to just maybe something on the second page here. I'm just going to choose maybe a random accounting firm here. Okay, maybe let's see, James Accounting. Okay, so here's one. Let's check them out. So I'm gonna copy this, and let's go back to our meta tags and paste it in, and let's see what comes back. So same situation, right? No display picture. If I click on LinkedIn, I don't see any of that. So it's a very simple thing to do, just enabling that picture for your site, and it makes all the difference here. So again, and in this example, let's just take a quick look at, let's go to our other checker, the SEO site checkup. Okay, and let's just pop in those guys there, and let's see what loads up. All right. And 73. So you can see a lot of stuff missing, but the key thing is the social media tags. Again, this is huge. So this shows you exactly how to fix, and explains what each one of these means when you hover over the little information box here. Okay, so again, something simple, super simple, but basically these are going to be the strategies combined to get you going for the expert roundup article, and then the expert roundup plus the ultimate guide. So next up, I'm going to show you my number one strategy. Okay, so let's clear this out. I'm going to go to open up another tab, and let's go back to the home page. So number one, thought leadership and prominent publication method. So the idea here is that you're going to be seen as a thought leader and get published in a publication that is a publication that folks have heard of, and that is also going to link back to your site. So let's just kind of break that down. So in this example, one of the topics, for instance, let's just say if the topic is, how to boost your revenue during tax season, right? So how to boost your revenue during tax season. So this is, when we look at the results here, Lots of stuff here. Lots of results. TurboTax, IRS.gov. But look at the number 1 in Accounting Today, right? So I'm going to click on this. Simple method to boost your revenue this tax season. So this is an article that I wrote, published in Accounting Today. And as you can see here, basically it basically shows the article, and I'm cited as the author. And I wrote a few here. So this is just one, but the idea is that, so if you submit this, you can get a backlink, and it includes a link to your website as well. So if I click on that, so that backlinks to my other company, BookGel, and that gives me the ability to feature a lot of that information here too. So again, this strategy works on a lot of sites. So I have Accounting Today, Boston Herald, Morningstar, Yahoo Finance. So we've used similar strategies across a lot of publications, and it's a very simple method that works for you. So let's just kind of see how you can break this down. Now, so as an accountant, you want to, in a publication like Accounting Today, lots of businesses, I think they have a circulation of almost 400,000 in the US. So a lot of businesses go to Accounting Today. So how can you publish an article there to get your name out there? So let's just do this. I'm going to go back to Google here, and let's just do this. Here's a trick that I'm going to show you. If you actually type in the name of the website, so accountingtoday.com : space, and let's just see, so a topic, let's just say real estate tax strategy, right? Real estate tax strategy. So what this does, this is a hack that Google will use to comb a specific website. So these results are only in accountingtoday.com. The reason why I did that is because Google search often indexes a site better than the internal search. So Google search is actually better than Accounting Today's search, because when I do this, let's just say I'll click on the top result here. Okay, top 5 tax strategies for real estate owners. So this is by David Fabian. I don't know who that is, but let's just kind of see what this: cost segregation, tangible property, de minimis safe harbor, section 179. This looks pretty good. Let's see who this is. David Fabian. Okay, so managing director of MS Consultants. Okay, let's try another one here. Same idea. Let's just look at another one. Tax strategy, rental real estate, and a QBI deduction. Okay, so, and this is by, let's see, Mark Luscombe. Okay, and he is a CPA and attorney. Okay, so that's the idea. It looks like he has quite a few of these. So this is an excellent way. Now, what he didn't do is include a backlink to his site, which is good and bad, because it's kind of going back to the one that I did here. So if you look at mine, I have a link to BookGel, but I don't have a link to BizPayal. So publication typically will have just one link for you, so you can choose. But make sure when you submit it, you specify what link you actually want in that site here. So this works very well because we get a lot of traffic coming from just these 2 articles here in Accounting Today, and it helps with your authority. It gets you out there, and it gives you free evergreen traffic to your site. So these are basically the 3 ways that you can use to skyrocket your content marketing and SEO. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, go ahead and be sure to click on the like button so other folks can find this as well. And in the next video, you're going to see something that we use as a pillar of our strategy, and it's a method that works very well, and it's super, super simple to do. The great thing about it is you're not writing any content, and it's actually a lot faster. So see you in the next video.